Have you come across this watch? Now, many watch brands have existed for decades but still have not been able to crack the Oscars of watchmaking GPHG, that is Grand Prix de l'Horlogerie de Genève. The watch you saw is Ciga Design's Series U Blue Planet that won the challenge prize at the GPHG in 2021. Today's video is not about this award-winning watch but about a funky little timepiece from Ciga Design's affordable lineup because the founder, Mr. Zhang Jianming, I hope I'm saying the name right, believes that everyone should have access to his creations. I promise you, this is going to be an interesting one because this watch is not what I thought it was right off the bat, but a standout in its category of skeletal dial watches. After I spent some time with it, I grew to like it. So let's dive right into the unboxing. Namaste everybody and welcome back to TikTok Treasures. This is Ciga Design Series X Gorilla Mechanical Watch. Full disclosure, this was sent to us for review and we are keeping it. Ciga Design winning the GPAG Challenge Prize for their Series U Blue Planet got the world of horology talking, not just because of the timepiece itself, but also because it was the first time any Chinese watch brand won a GPAG prize. Oh, they have won a plethora of other awards. This X series, they say, is inspired by the muscular gorilla that symbolizes power and wisdom. The design strays away from the traditional mechanical by offering futuristic cyberpunk style, something some millennials and most Gen Z would go for. These are the other colorways the X series Gorilla Mechanical carries, 3 in stainless steel and 2 in titanium, but this black and orange is the only one that carries Lume according to their website. I first thought it was a show watch, but boy was I wrong. The design is intentional whilst being aesthetic, unlike some of the low quality skeletal dial watches in the market that are all show and no substance. Let's take a closer look at the Ciga Design X Series Gorilla Mechanical for the first time on TikTok Treasures. When I picked this watch up for the first time, it appeared bulky right off the bat, but it wears small on my wrist. Now, I know the watch has funk, but it is clearly meant to be used in a tough environment, and here's why. This matte case is stainless steel with DLC coating, offering resistance to corrosion, abrasion, and oxidation. So this isn't just making a fashion statement. This isn't just a normal case, but two-layered case with the four-corner suspension, which is designed to protect the movement from shocks. The edges of the case have a glossy property thanks to the chamfer or beveling, and it looks neat as it catches light. I am loving the orange elements of the design at the 3 and 9. The composite structure crown is just the right proportion with respect to the case, comes with the C branding and offers brilliant grip. At the 9 o'clock is the gorilla face insignia of this model. If you are looking for hour markers on the dial, you won't find them anywhere as there is no room, but they have integrated those on the bezel, starting with a triangle at the 12 o'clock, the ridges at the 3, 6, and 9, and the cuts at the corners representing the remaining hour markers. The Ciga Design X Series Gorilla Mechanical is 44mm in width, 44mm long, making this a perfect square with rounded corners, but if you include the minuscule lugs, it's 48mm. The lug width is 22mm and case has a thickness of 11.8mm, which is not too chunky. The crystal on the face is synthetic sapphire, offering crystal clear view of the caliber from the front. This is a 9 on the Mohs scale, just below diamond in terms of hardness. This is said to offer stability against abrasion and chemical exposure, an ideal choice to complement the tough case it sits on. The back is hardened mineral glass, giving you a glimpse of the rotor in motion. It appears as though Ciga Design wanted this watch to be transparent, edge to edge, front to back, corner to corner, leaving no room, no provision for indices or hour markers, and it can make telling time at a glance tricky for most, but it's not a deal breaker for me because one should be able to to tell time by the positions of the handset. I also don't see any minute markers, and even if there were, that minute hand is not long enough. So telling exact time can be tricky, and hence this isn't the most practical face of a watch. The metallic handset is skeletal too, and it blends with the internal parts you see on display. So the trick is to track their loom tips to tell time right away. But that sweeping orange seconds hand stands out against all the shiny metal and is a sight to behold. The Ciga Design branding, though, is barely readable in most light situations. The X carries loom, as do the tips of the hour and minute hands. The loom is Swiss Superluminova that doesn't take much to activate, glows bright green, and does an excellent job of telling time in the dark. And now, check this out. The loom on the hands glows two-way. If you flip over to the back at certain positions, you can get a glimpse of the loom. How cool is that? Now, if you are spoiled for choices of mechanical watches that offer 50 to 100 meter water resistance at a fraction of the price of the Series X Gorilla Mechanical, then you could find this watch lacking in that department, because this only comes with 30 meter water resistance, but as is the industry standard, it is good enough for a few splashes and the occasional drizzle. Ciga Design X Series Gorilla is an automatic watch with hand winding capability and seconds hacking. This is powered by caliber CD01, which Ciga Design mentions on their website as original developed, but on the rotor you see the word customized. They told me this essentially means that this movement is conceptualized and developed in-house but manufactured elsewhere as per the specifications. According to them, this caliber is specific to Ciga Design and Ciga Design only. This beats at 21,600 beats per hour or 3 Hz and has a power reserve of 40 hours with an accuracy of -15 to +30 seconds per day. With the single test I performed, it gave me a 20-second variation in 24 hours, which is not a deal breaker for me personally, because telling time isn't the primary reason I wear mechanical watches. You get two choices for straps. One is this mesh silicone strap that's breathable, washable, and anti-allergic. This is the one I have kept this watch paired with all this while, as I find this more comfortable than this layered, washable quality and sturdy nylon strap. For some reason, I feel that nylon just doesn't go with the vibe of this watch, but I am going to start hunting for a FKM rubber strap for this one. This Ciga Design Series X Gorilla Mechanical stands out as a statement piece and can be a conversation starter. From the front, the visual of the rotating rotor against a backdrop that is your skin as you move your arm is not something you see every day. The size and shape of this watch is just right for my 6.8-inch wrist, because the top and bottom edges of the watch line up with the edges of my wrist. I think this watch is growing on me, even though skeletal dial watches aren't my thing, let alone watches that are completely see-through. It could be because of how well built it is with premium materials, and I have always prioritized build over looks, substance over show. It could be because of the perfect square with rounded corners that exude futuristic vibes, or maybe because I just want to make an effort to get along with Gen Z. The Ciga Design Series X Gorilla Mechanical retails at $379, and if this is something you fancy, I will leave the purchase links for this in the description and in the pinned comment. I hope you guys enjoyed the showcase of a watch from an award-winning brand. It is a first for us. I will see you on the next one. Until then, stay tuned and stay classy.